Hello viewers, my name is Martin Caballero. I'm the assistant editor at BevNET, and I'm joining you here from day 2 of the 2018 National Association of Convenience Stores Trade Show, otherwise known as NACS, in Las Vegas. I'm joined here with BevNet reporter Brad Avery. We have plenty of content coming out over the next couple days and over the next week about what we saw at the show, but we thought we'd give you a little bit of a recap on some of the general themes, some of the cool stuff that we saw just walking the floor. Brad, let's talk a little bit. What did you see in terms of energy? That's a very strong category in this channel.
Well, I think with a lot of the traditional energy drinks, brands like Red Bull and Monster, we're seeing line extensions and new flavors. But what's interesting is a lot of brands from categories outside of traditional energy now coming for their space. Sparkling water brands such as Sparkling Ice, they showed off a new 16-ounce can with caffeine. Chris Hall, the CEO, was telling me at the booth that what they need to grow their brand is that functional element that consumers are seeking. Another brand, Avite, which is a sparkling energy water, they showed off a new product that has a slow-release caffeine. It uses technology so that you have that caffeine boost for over 4 hours, and it has 250 milligrams. So we're seeing brands coming with big boosts, higher than some of the average energy drinks as well. Another thing that we're seeing is that some traditional energy drinks now are moving towards plant-based or natural caffeine sources and hitting that better for you market space that a lot of C-stores are beginning to build out. So Outlaw Energy, a brand that's only a couple years old, has reformulated to now use more natural energy sources that are not going to scare away the more health-conscious consumer. Or yerba mate is another ingredient we're seeing for energy drinks. Yerba is, again, marking that natural energy line. I think that's something we keep seeing again and again is natural energy. But you pivot that as well to coffee, and we saw something interesting with Forto, which is known for their coffee shots, now releasing a 12-ounce RTD and marketing that as an energy coffee with over 200 milligrams of caffeine. I really think that's a big thing we saw on the show floor.
And sticking with coffees for a second, obviously you talked about some of the high caffeine coffee products. We're also seeing some of the cold brew leaders that sort of established that category in the natural channel moving into C-stores and trying to sort of develop that experience and sort of elevate the coffee experience in C-stores where it's maybe traditionally been non-cold brew type items. So I'm thinking of brands like La Colombe, Califia, obviously a lot of plant-based synergies in there. And even with Coke, the launch of Far Coast, going to be their first cold brew product, which should be really interesting, gives them another sort of option to fill out their portfolio along with Dunkin' Donuts, McCafe, really a broadening of that coffee category.
Now, did you see anything else on the show floor in regards to flavor innovations?
I don't know about if it's quite an innovation, but I definitely saw a lot of mango, a lot of pineapple. Watermelon seems to be a little bit behind there, but certainly there too. That really seems to be those sort of tropical and citrus flavors seem to be really prominent at the show. There was Simply launching its new smoothie line, which has a mango. Bubbly has a new, the sparkling water from Pepsi has a new mango flavor coming out. There's definitely more that we'll talk about, I think, in our other coverage. But yeah, it felt like this year, mango, pineapple, those kind of tropical citrus flavors were pretty prominent.
Yeah, and I saw Hint also unveiled a mango flavor as well.
And sticking with sparkling water, that's another category. Obviously, C-stores seen a lot of growth in. Really some interesting stuff on the floor here. I mean, we're seeing Pepsi expand its bubbly line into 20-ounce PET bottles, which should be launching early next year. I think it's been on the market for a year, and so that's been a big source of sort of growth for them. And even brands that are sort of traditional in the category, San Pellegrino, for example, and Perrier, both had new SKUs. The Perrier with juice added, and the San Pellegrino with natural flavoring. So you're seeing really that there's a lot of space to be filled with that. Even Jarritos, the Mexican soda brand that a lot of people know from their bright colors and really strong flavors, really in that traditional soda category, also launching a line of flavored sparkling waters with 0 calories. Really just a lot of growth in that category, and I'm sure we're going to see much more coming in the next year.
I was over at the Polar Seltzer booth, and their brand has traditionally been entrenched in New England, but with the rise of sparkling water, they're now branching out to the West Coast where they're seeing a lot of success, and they're really leading with a lot of innovative flavors and sort of experimental flavors in a way. They have a kids line that has funky and mystery flavors. They have their seltzer aids, and they're really riding that wave and trying to lead through innovation.
Well, that's just a brief look at some of the things we saw at NACS 2018 this year. Expect a lot more coverage over the next week at BevNET.com. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, I'm Martin. This is Brad. Remember to click and subscribe, and thanks for watching.